Hey guys, I went to see the movie The Fabelmans, and when I first saw the title, I was like, I don't know about this one because I'm usually not gung ho about going to see movies with family surnames as the title. But then I discovered that it is an autobiographical movie based on the life of, or part of the life of, the one and only Steven Spielberg. At which point I was like, thank you, where do I purchase a ticket? I have such a deep love and respect for Steven Spielberg and his work. Like, ever since I was a child, I've been watching this man's movies, whether it was the Indiana Jones movies or E.T. He is one of the reasons why I love movies so much. And he's the one movie director whose work I have watched consistently throughout my life. So when I heard that this movie was about him, I was like, I have to see it. And mainly because I was so curious to find out how his love for movies began and how he developed his talent for making them. So, The Fablemans is about a boy, Sammy, aka Steven, from a Jewish American family who falls in love with motion pictures or movies and the art of making them. As he grows older, so does his talent for making movies. And it's through these movies that he discovers the truth about his family. Of course, family is a major theme in this movie, exploring the different dynamics within a family, but also dealing with family secrets and how those can have an effect on the family. It's also about art and being an artist in a world that often doesn't take art seriously and the determination it requires to pursue a career in the arts. I loved this movie because it's cinema at its simplest, but at its most magnificent. And by simple, I just mean it doesn't have the bells and whistles that we've become accustomed to, whether it's the CGI or the incredible stunts and all of that. It's just basic, beautiful storytelling. And it's done to perfection. Steven Spielberg has always been a great storyteller, and this movie is just yet another testament to that. It's delightful, it's moving, and it's sad, and it's fascinating, especially if you take an interest in filmmaking. And even if you don't, it's still fascinating. One of the things I really enjoyed about this movie was that they show you the process or part of the process of making motion pictures, like the mechanics of it, with the film and the reel and some of the gadgets that they'd use to literally piece together a movie back in those days before the digital age. And then they'd also show you some of the tricks that they would use to create special effects using everyday objects. It was a joy to watch. And more than once, you're watching movies within a movie and reacting along with the audience in the movie to the movie that they're watching, but also reacting to the main movie, The Fablemans. It was so much fun. But more than all that, it shows you the power of cinema and the impact that it can have on an audience, whether it's capturing our imaginations or making us feel a million different emotions or helping us see ourselves and the truth about ourselves. One of the coolest things about this movie was seeing these little short movies that Sammy was making and seeing the effect that these movies had on his family and his friends and anyone else who was watching them. It was really special. The standout performance in this is the one given by Michelle Williams. This Michelle Williams, not this Michelle Williams, although we love this Michelle Williams. Hey girl! But this Michelle Williams. She plays Sammy's mother and she is exquisite in this. She gives a dynamic and nuanced performance. Honestly, Oscar worthy. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure she's going to be nominated. She was brilliant. This one is for sure a Best Picture contender at this year's Oscars and a sprint to your nearest cinema. In fact, if I were a betting woman, I'd bet on this one to get Best Picture. I also feel like Oscar voters like this sort of film, but more importantly, it's really, really good. And I highly recommend that you go and see it. So yeah, guys, go and check out The Fablemans.